Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Slightly Warped Podcast. I'm Rick, joined as always by Big Show. Ryan, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I, I can't complain. It's not even that hot today. And I say that hot because I'm comparing it to previous days in Kansas. Got a little cloud cover out
Yeah,
this way today.
it's still pretty warm out there,
Yeah,
but not as
don't
bad
get
as
me
it's been.
wrong. I'm not gonna stand out there in it.
Yeah, definitely not as bad as it was the last couple of days.
Now, for those of you who are new to the podcast, once a month we like to stimulate everybody's mind and take you back to a crime scene, not necessarily murder. It could be any kind of crime, a heist, unsolved mystery. We just like to call it True Crime Thursday. And this here is a TCT. And we are doing today what some people consider the granddaddy of all serial killers. Uh, Mr. Whitechapel Murderer himself, Jack the Ripper. Um, it's hard,
Jack, Jack the Ripper, one of the most well-known slash unknown serial killers that ever walked the earth.
right? I mean, it's hard because we don't know who it is. We've done killers before where you knew who did it, we got into their head and we wanted to know why. And we've done a couple where you weren't sure who did it, but you had those two or three that you were like, oh, he's a big suspect. He could have did it. Um, this one I'm going to put right up there with our DB Cooper, who no one will ever know who that was. Um, I don't think we'll ever really know who the Ripper was, and it's weird. You can look at movies, TV shows, papers. Everybody's got their own theory.
Yeah, they, if I'm not mistaken, I read or heard, and I don't know when it was, but they thought they had got DNA off of a piece of clothing. I think it's like a scarf or
Hmm.
a shawl, I guess, that they found at one of the murders. And they actually name a gentleman as the Ripper. Not necessarily, I mean, it could be touch DNA. I mean, it could have been her husband or boyfriend or, I
Yeah.
mean, who knows? Wasn't Jack Rip, didn't he kill prostitutes?
Yes.
So, I mean, it could have been a John.
This is back in the 1800s, and London's Whitechapel district, by the way, just setting this up for everybody. It is a seedy, we'll call it for lack of a better word, part of town. And
That
at
mean
one
lots
point,
of plants?
not that seedy. The kind of um, it wasn't a rich end of London, and it had a lot of, shall we say, uh, female workers. And I don't mean factory workers, women of the evening, that kind of thing. Um,
Recreational ladies, yes.
yes. Well, I wouldn't even say recreational because they were getting paid for theirs. Um,
Hey, that's the same thing. You know, in the trucking business, they call them lot lizards, but since everybody's woke to recreational reptiles, they still get paid.
fair enough. Fair enough. It's a long time since I heard lot lizard. That was a good one. Um, anyway, I guess these murders took place between 1886 and 1889. And from what they can tell, most of the Ripper's murderers came on the weekends, and they were all late at night, somewhere between, we'll say, midnight and 3 a.m. So going back to what you said up at the top of the podcast, it very well could have been a John. Um, what most of these murders had in common, their throats were cut and they were sliced open around the abdominal area. So if he was a John, once he was through handling his business, Dexter's shop was immediately open. And we'll never know because we don't know who it is, what his motive was for doing it. And that's one of the things that in previous episodes that we've done on a TCT, you can at least put together a motive some kind of way. If it's a husband, he's jealous of a cheating wife. I'm not saying that you kill the woman. I'm just saying I see his motive. I don't see Jack's motives at all for why is he doing this. And I know that we've heard a lot of speculation. One in point, going back to the John theory, let's say that he couldn't activate his manhood, or he was uh, doing it to rid the world of filth, or uh, his mother's voice is still inside his head. He's crazy, deranged, and those are theories. Um, I will tell you what we'll debunk here real quick before you take over, show, because and this I fell into this trap. I thought for a long time, oh, it must be somebody who's skilled like a surgeon, knows exactly where to cut. And once you read up on it, you realize that this was not somebody that knew where to make incisions. This is just someone who was worse than a butcher. I mean, just slice and open. No particular cutting method, no particular style as far as everybody's the exact same way. They were similar, but not in the precision that someone who knew how to handle a scalpel per se would have been. So,
Yeah, I mean, let's also look at the time frame of when these murders took place. You said, the late 1800s.
yes.
So, you know, doctors didn't have the surgical skill that they have nowadays. So,
Mm,
us thinking in our modern time, surgical would mean, clean lines. But I mean, just go to any war movie where they're surgically amputating somebody's limb with a handsaw, that they're going to tell you it was surgically removed, but that doesn't mean that it was clean and neat.
that is
So
true.
I think that's kind of where we disconnect. And I think that they said that they thought that he may have been in that type of profession because I think three of the original five had organs removed.
Yeah.
Um, some of their internal organs were removed, but it wasn't with all of them. So I don't know what it was about that particular three that he did, but maybe he realized after the first three that that was too much work. I don't know.
Now, for people that are just getting everybody up to speed again, the canonical five. These are the five proven Ripper victims: Marianne Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Edos or Edois. I probably butchered that. No pun intended. And Mary Jane Kelly.
Great play on words. I like that.
Yeah. So let's start with Mary. Marianne Nichols was discovered about 3:40 a.m. on Friday, August 31st, 1888, in Bucks Row, which is now on Dillard Street. I'm not sure where that is. It's in Whitechapel, and she was last seen alive approximately 1 hour before the discovery of her body. Um, let's see if they show. Her throat was severed by two deep cuts, one of which was complete. One of which completely severed the tissue down to the vertebrae. And then it says that her vaginal area had been stabbed twice, and the lower part of her abdomen was partially ripped open by a deep, jagged wound, causing her bowels to protrude. And there were several other incisions on both sides of her abdomen um, caused by the same knife. So that's what happened to Mary. Uh, for Annie, about 1 week later, she was discovered at 6 a.m. on the steps in the doorway in the back of Hanbury Street, and her abdomen had been cut entirely open, a section of the flesh from her stomach being placed upon her left shoulder, and another section of skin and flesh, plus her small intestines, being removed and placed above her right shoulder.
Wow.
Autopsy had also revealed that her uterus and sections of her bladder and vagina had been removed. So, yeah.
Hold up. Stop. Stop the presses. How do you remove a vagina? Like
Um,
actually remove it. Like you can remove the uterine walls, you can do all that, but like the vagina is, I mean, what do you just cut the whole wow, that's just
yeah,
wild.
that's deep right there. Um,
No pun intended.
we keep falling into that, don't we? Um, now Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Burrows were both killed early in the morning. So Jack's moving on up. He's two at a time now. Sunday, September 30th of 1888. Stride's body was discovered at 1 a.m. and the cause of death was a single clear-cut incision measuring 6 inches across her neck, which had severed her left carotid artery and her trachea before terminating beneath her right jaw. And the absence of any
Which one was
fur.
this?
This one was Elizabeth Stride.
Okay.
Yeah, and the absence of any further mutations to her body has led to the uncertainty of whether Stride's murder was committed by the same Ripper or was it an interrupted attack. Uh, I because they were done at the same time, and I'll get to the second one in a second. I'm thinking it may have been interrupted, and then he may have found someone else, and that's why he ended up taken out too. Because when you get to Miss Edalis, Catherine, we'll just call it Catherine because I messed up the last name. She was found on the corner of Midtree Square in the city of London, about 3/4 of an hour after the discovery of Elizabeth Stride. Her throat was severed from ear to ear. Her abdomen was ripped open by a long, deep, jagged wound before her intestines had been placed over her right shoulder, with a section of intestine being completely detached and placed between her body and her left arm. The left kidney and the major part of her uterus had been removed, and her face had been disfigured with her nose severed and her cheek slashed. The cuts measuring about 1/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches, respectively. And there were vertical wounds incised through each of her eyelids. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Man, so one thing we know, whoever this was, this dude was messed up. I mean, it's not just throat slash, move on. He clearly was either trying to get attention or trying to send a message.
You think?
Hey, that's the best I can do. I'm not a trained CSI, so there you go, kids.
You just said trying to send a message. I wonder what that message is. I don't think he likes women very much.
Okay, one more here because we can't leave out Mary Jane. Rick James will kill us. Um, God, I said kill during a TCT. I'm sorry. I keep doing this. Um,
Ain't
where was I? Mary Jane. Let's talk about her. Where is she at? Oh,
a little bit further.
Mary Jane Kelly. There's Kelly's body. Uh, Uterus, left kidney removed, her face mutilated, and her body was eviscerated. What the hell is that? With her face gashed in all directions and the tissue of her neck being severed to the bone. Nice. That's pretty deep. I almost said deep again. I got no more puns on a true crime Thursday. So,
Where did
man,
you reading off of Wikipedia, right?
yeah.
I just couldn't see where you were at on Mary Jane.
Uh, well, it's right after the the 13 Miller's Court paragraph. I skipped the part about her murder burning combustible items to illuminate
Oh
a
no,
single room.
I okay. I think I may have went down a little further. Yeah,
You
I
probably
went down
did.
too far.
Yeah,
I did.
I was
I went
trying
down
to,
too far.
I was trying to get through the canonical five as quick as I could to get
Man,
back to Jack.
that that police picture, that's an actual picture. That's like an
In
actual
the bed.
photo. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's man, that is brutal.
that
And
was Mary Jane.
yeah, because I wanted to
Holy
look up the
Moses.
evisceration to see what that is. And evisceration is a method of autonomy involving the ejection of internal organs used by animals as a defensive strategy. So, when he was literally just taking parts out, literally. Talk about brutal. Um,
Man, that's crazy.
there were some later Whitechapel murders, but no one could prove whether or not um, this was the same person. These here, because they call them the canonical five, they know that they are related and they are, for all intent and purpose, from the same perpetrator. And I know we made a joke about sending a message, but I'm just curious, and we'll never know, probably ever, what it was that he was trying to do, what his point was that he was trying to get across. Was he just upset that he couldn't be with them? Was he just um, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? I'm curious. And instead of waiting until the end of the show, I'm just going to tell everybody, whether you're listening or watching, get in the comments and let us know what you think the motive was and if you have a theory on who the killer might be.
Well, like I said, I was reading too on here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me go back one. Uh, Historian Russell Edwards says he identified Jack the Ripper as Kosminski. Aaron Kosminski, Kosminski, through a
Mm-hmm.
DNA match of a shawl found at the scene of one of the murders. Doesn't say which one, so it could have been non conical five.
Yeah. And going back to what you said earlier, too. Yeah, the DNA was on there, but could it have been a boyfriend, a close friend, a relative's DNA? Well, it wouldn't have been a relative because that would have, come up on there, but a close friend, a boyfriend, or something like that, or some type of contact. Um, you could literally hug somebody who's wearing a scarf, and your DNA is on there, and if something happens to them, they're looking at you.
Well, it depends on what kind of DNA it is. Was it blood? Was it spit? Was it,
Yeah,
whatever?
true, true.
Touch DNA is just something that came across. We're also talking about 1880s. What, 88 you said, I think.
Yeah, and you were talking
Um,
about DNA. There was something I read about stamps from a letter. They were trying to get DNA off of that.
oh, because he licked the stamps? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I could, but they also said they don't know if those letters were actually written from him, by
Mm,
him, or if they were like the local paper just trying to hype up the news, or try to make it more. I guess in 1880 there wasn't a whole lot going on, but famine and war. So let's just
yeah. Now I will say
that
this,
that was the origination of Slightly Warped, folks, back in 1888. This is how we started.
right? Now this one of the reasons why this he's the granddaddy of serial killers, and you touched on it. In the 1800s, there wasn't a whole lot going on. This is one of those times where the press put the city in a frenzy. It had never been done like that before. He's not
No.
necessarily the first serial killer, but he's the first sensationalized serial killer.
And when we think about, and I'll just speak on my behalf, when I think about the reputation, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
of Jack the Ripper, a surgical, methodical type killer. But to realize he really, I mean, and I say this without trying to be funny, but only five ladies, that he's
Yeah.
that diabolical in everybody's mind, like one of the most prolific serial killers ever. He
Meanwhile,
only
Ted
has five
Bundy was like,
victims.
"Hold my beer."
Right. Or one of our past ones, Samuel Little, who killed over 100 women. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, it's crazy. It's crazy how his um reputation just grew.
Yeah. It's kind of like I would compare it to nowadays for you people that watch sports, how people sensationalize LeBron James. He's not that good, folks. I come from the Jordan era.
The area, he comes from Jordan area.
Yeah. No, I'm
Um,
not from
but
Chicago or
let's
North
let's
Carolina.
let's be honest. You can't say he's not that good because the man's been in the NBA for many years. He's just
I
not as good as Jordan.
There you go. There you go.
He's still really good.
He is really good. I don't know. I was just reading something on one of the social media pages. Somebody actually had the nerve to say um, he's the best player ever. You can't name anybody better. And
I can name three.
a
I
bunch of
can name three
people,
or four that played for the
but
Lakers.
that's where I was going with it. Somebody mentioned they named five. They threw
Yeah,
them out quick. Five. So yeah, Kobe, Magic, Worthy,
yeah.
Kareem. I think I only named four, but I can pull out another one if I had
Who's
to.
who's the white boy that's the NBA logo? Throw
Jerry
him on there
West.
too.
That's it.
There you
Jerry
go.
West. Yeah, when you are the logo,
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's all good. I don't know how we got on the subject of LeBron. People that are here for the
But
True
that's
Crime
why we're
Thursday,
slightly warped.
I
Well, it
know,
is
but
a true crime that people say that LeBron is better than Jordan. That is a crime.
yes, lock those people up. So if you're one of those people, we're coming for you. Okay, enough about him. We're not going to sensationalize for LeBron anymore. It's
Now I
almost
want to go
football
back
season.
to the. I want to go back to the because I just went down a rabbit hole sort of here.
Mm-hmm.
They just made that name of the killer. They just came up with that murder with them saying in 2014. So less than 10 years ago that they named the killer as Aaron Kosminski. And they say it's 100% match with the suspect, the DNA that was on that deal.
Interesting. But you keep saying the suspect. Is it one of the canonical five, or is it just one of the other murders?
Well, that's a victim. The suspect is Aaron
Oh,
Kosminski.
oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying. Bro.
Said he was born in Poland. It's got
Mhm.
to be him. He was born in Poland on September the 11th. Right there, he's an asshole. 1865. His family fled the Russian anti-Jewish area and immigrated to East London in the early 1880s. He
Mhm.
lived very close to the murder scenes. According to some reports, Kosminski was taken in by the police to be identified by a witness who had seen him with one of the victims. Although a positive identification was made, the witness refused to give incriminating evidence, which led the police to release him. He entered a workhouse in 1889 where he was described on admissions as destitute. He was discharged later in that year, but soon ended up in a mental asylum. He died from gangrene in the mental asylum on March 24th, 1919.
Mm-hmm. Crazy deranged.
I guess it'd be easy just to throw anybody. But this is one of the rare ones. I mean, so let's look at serial killers that have
Okay,
never been
wait.
identified.
Before you go back, before you go there,
Uh huh.
all right. You said because it would have been easy to just throw somebody in the mental institution. It was London. It was the 1800s. We weren't that far from witch hunts.
True that.
So yeah, I can see that. Oh, he's crazy. Lock him up. Put him in a straitjacket. I can totally see that.
Most def. I was just thinking, you got Jack the Ripper, never been identified. The Zodiac Killer, never been identified. What other serial killers that are prolific that have never been identified? Like that just stay, it's going to stay in a constant mystery because they killed, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, it's a good question. Keep talking. I'm gonna look
And
that up.
and here is just a thing to make you go kind of thing. Could there ever be a modern day Jack the Ripper?
I want
Like,
to
would
say
he get away?
yes.
Would he be able to get away with it?
I want to say yes. I mean, I got to believe that that's going on now.
Well, I mean,
I
but to that level, where doing the exact same thing, brutal murders, intestines hanging over the right shoulders, removing vaginas.
you got to think that the more you mess with a victim, the more DNA you're going to leave behind. You're going to mess up in some way, even if it's
True
not DNA.
that. True that.
So, and I'm not giving any advice here, folks. So don't take it for that. But to be successful at it in this day and age, it's got to be clean, precise, in and out. Dexter.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dexter, if we ever talk about fictional serial killers,
Right.
Dexter is by far and away the goat. There is no second. Like he would destroy all incomers. And I don't are how big a fan of Dexter are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, I watched the entire series originally. I have not watched New Blood.
Okay, well, you need to watch New Blood, and then you also need to watch Resurrection, which is out now. The first 4 episodes are out, and
Oh, okay.
the
I didn't know
res
Resurrection was out yet.
yeah, the Resurrection. This last episode, episode 4, is by far the absolute best show I mean, it was by far really, really, really good, really good, really,
Okay.
really good.
I'm gonna definitely check that out then. But you're right. Fictionally, yeah, he's the goat, and that's because they wrote it that way. Uh, Out here in real life, there's always, I don't want to say a mistake, but something's going to get left behind, some kind of trace evidence.
He's made his mistakes.
Well, yeah, he
He's
did
left
too.
his trace evidence.
That's true. But
I mean,
when
everybody's mama knows he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. They just can't prove it.
true that, but you got to respect him for how long he was able to do it, working for the police department.
Yeah, but like even with the when he in New Blood, and
Mm-hmm.
then now in Resurrections, he's obviously not in the police department.
No, no,
he's
no,
still
no.
he's he's still doing his thing
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and don't give anything else away because I am going to watch it. Is Angel looking for him?
in the new one,
Yeah,
in the new season.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Okay. All right. A cat and mouse game. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. All right. Um,
And oh yeah, yeah. I was getting ready to throw some other stuff out there, but I don't want to ruin it.
okay, but in answer to your earlier question, killers the five killers in the US history who were never caught. The Zodiac killer, of course. The Alphabet killer. Forgot about that one. Um, the Black Doodler. Never heard of that one. That was between 1974
Hold
and
on,
75.
is that what they call P Diddy?
No, they call him the Diddler.
Oh, my
Did
bad, my bad.
Diddler, not Doodler. This is the Black Doodler.
My fault.
Oh, although we might want to pin some stuff on it. Okay. The babysitter killer. Okay. I am did
Oh,
never heard of this one
I'm
before.
intrigued on that one. That's
Um
next month's
Now this was
CTG.
between 1976 and 77. Also referred to as the Oakland County Child Killer, the OCCK. Um Responsible for killing four children in the in Oakland and Michigan. Interesting. Um, Two boys, two girls, and the authority believed that the victims were held captive before they were terminated.
Mm.
Yeah, so wow, that that's deep right there. And then there's one more, the Long Island Killer. That was between 96 and 2010.
He
So,
was caught. He was caught just here recently.
oh, was he?
If I'm not mistaken, he was also the Golden State Killer.
Let
I
me
could
see
be
here.
wrong. Let me look at it. Long Island Killer.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything with not seeing anything with a suspect name on that one.
Yeah, Rex Hewerman.
So they did confirm that then.
Yeah, he's been arrested. He was there's a great documentary and I'm gonna have to watch it now, but it's on Netflix called Gone Girls. Where's the Long Island serial killer? But it was Rex Heuermann, a local architect, and he was charged with the murders of Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, Amber Lynn Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes.
Hmm. Rex, Rex,
Maybe, and
Rex.
maybe I'm talking out the side of my face. Maybe he was just charged. He wasn't convicted. I don't know. But we are now got something to watch on the old Netflix channel.
Hey, there we go. And before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody every month from here on out, true crime. It may not always be murder, death, kill. It may be just something unsolved or out of this world, even. But
He was
we
convicted.
will have a TCT. He was convicted. Sorry,
Hmm.
Rex won't be able to watch this program with everybody. He's
Oh no,
busy right
may
now.
have money on it. He might have some money on his books where he can get on the internet.
Oh, there you go. But be sure and join us. Leave us a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And hit me with that thumbs up. Show, you got anything before we get out of here?
Nope, just want to say, God bless everybody. Appreciate you guys watching. Sorry, been gone for a couple weeks. We're gonna try to get this a little bit steadier. And then also, shout out to our buddy Kevin. I know he's going through. He lost his grandmother, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also I lost some people this week. So hug your peoples, love them. Tomorrow's not promised, and I know nobody's watching from it, but I just want to give another shout out to the Ming family. We lost a young man. He was a Wyandotte County sheriff. Grew up with my kids. Wrestled with them, and he was a Wyandotte County sheriff. He was on a call A woman was moving out of her abusive boyfriend's house, and she needed somebody. She was fearful that he was going to do something, and Elijah Ming was the officer that showed up, and unfortunately was fired upon, and he did not make it. So prayers and condolences to the Ming family, and like I said, love each other. Tomorrow is not promised. I love you. We'll see you next week.
You guys take care.